So today I'm going to tell you a secret. A secret of what? A secret of why do we react? The entire world is telling us no reaction, stop reaction, move from reaction to response, reaction to response. But despite knowing this, what do we do? React. React, react, and react. So, why do we react? And knowing this is so important because if you do not know why you react, you will never be able to move towards response. Just saying that I want to move towards response and practicing it in the real life scenario, the subconscious takes over. And when the subconscious takes over, it is the reaction that takes over, not response. So let's decode why do we react, right? Hi, I'm Richa, your clarity coach. Okay. So I want you to close your eyes and think about the situation when you reacted. Any situation, just think about the situation when you reacted. I want you to think about it in as much of details as you want, and I want you to feel what's happening here. I want you to become conscious of what's happening here. Are you feeling anxious? Are you feeling irritated? Is there some anger here? What is the feeling? क्या महसूस कर रहे हो? ये फीलिंग आपको बताएगी कि आपने रिएक्ट क्यों किया. You know, every time that we react, there is an internal trigger. Where does that trigger comes from? And what does that trigger say? वो ट्रिगर इस बात से आता है कि हम असुरक्षित महसूस करते हैं. We feel insecure. And that trigger says, hey, you are under attack. Yes, think about it. How are you under attack? The identity could be under attack. The personality could be under attack. What you have done could be under attack. In some way, who you are that you think is under attack. And that is why we react. Now, when this is under attack, we need to protect ourselves. That's our conscious feeling. Everybody needs to protect themselves. And this sense of protection is an ingrained fear in all of us. So, what do? The trigger, the reaction becomes the dhal. So, there is a sword coming to us as an attack, and now there is this dhal, which is our reaction, and we react. Now, once you understand what happens because of which you react, let's get back to check, oh, why did I get triggered? Why did I feel attacked? So, we need to go back to our childhood, the entire upbringing scenario, and also what we experienced in the world. We experienced that it is not okay to be not okay. It is not okay to be not perfect. It is not okay to be good enough. You have to be the best. It is not okay to be a mediocre. In everything that we did, we are not okay was a prominent stuff. And this prominent stuff said, hey, you are not okay, which means you need to do something to become okay. And you are not okay, it's not a nice feeling. If you're not okay, how do you deal with the world? How do you live? How do you be joyous? How to be happy? And nowhere were we taught that it is okay to be not okay. And so we became not okay with being not okay. And the struggle began. With every not okay, the struggle was to become okay. With every imperfection, the struggle was to become perfect. With everything going wrong, the struggle was to correct it, to get it right. So what do we do now? We were stuck. And so every time we feel that somebody is questioning us in some way, The trigger happens, the insecurity, which is now in the subconscious pattern, that pops up and reaction comes. So, so if you want to deal with reaction and you want to move to response, the first thing that you need to do is remove this trigger. And how do you do that? You do that by figuring out, or rather by training yourself, that it is okay to be not okay. And in this entire inner work, this is the biggest problem. Inner work demands time, inner work demands attention, inner work demands conscious effort. Who would take all that effort? And so we run away. It's easy to be not okay, being triggered, reacting. And it also gives us the scope to blame, isn't it? If we only take all the responsibility, how do we blame? So the mind is tricking us in different ways and we are getting tricked. The mind has become the master. Obviously, the life is going to be miserable. Obviously, you're going to suffer a lot of health challenges. Obviously, there will be a lot of space wherein you will die proving yourself. And you will say, I have to prove myself. Why do you have to prove yourself? Because you are accepting it. So start with training your mind. I do not need to prove myself. I am okay the way I am. I'm okay in incompletion. And when you become okay in incompletion, trust me, that's where you start learning. Because you will see now that your rejection has gone down. The acceptance, the receptivity in you has increased manyfold. You are now open to learn. When do we learn? When we accept that we do not know. But when we are always fighting that I know, where is the scope of learning? So there is something in us that becomes easy and that agrees to learn. And that's where the process of evolution for you starts. So start training yourself every time. This self-talk that comes to you and says that you're not okay, you are not perfect, it is not fine, you need to be this and you need to be that. Give it a slap. Be brutal with such self-talk. Cut it then and there. Just cut it then and there. No other choice. And be compassionate onto yourself. And that's where you move onto the journey of evolution. And actually, when you are okay with not being okay, eventually you tend to become okay. You get closer to be okay. But that is immaterial. And when this starts to happen, the triggers starts to go down, because now you're not being threatened. You're not being attacked. You don't feel attacked. Okay, it's their opinion that they think I am not okay. So what? It's their opinion. What do I have to do with that? And this is such an unburdening, such a free feeling. I cannot explain it to you. Right? So share in the comment box, what are your triggers? Is this helping you in any way? What more would you like me to deal? Because life is worth living. It's just that we forget to live. We have trained ourselves in such disastrous way that we forget to live. And it's my mission to help each one of us to really learn how to live. Okay? So stay tuned, share in the comment box. Take care.